What's up guys, it's Trija here and today we're going to be talking about football. So the topic for today is who the top 6 teams in England should sign and sell this January. Let's get into it.
Manchester United should sign Ozan Kabak.
Let's start with the league leaders United, who should sign Ozan Kabak in my opinion. United have a great attack and have been great in coming back into games, going behind in several games only to win them. But if they could just stop leaking goals, maybe the pressure on attack would ease off. They have been more solid since Bailly has been back in the squad, but I feel like he's always just a day away from another injury. Lindelof has just not been very good and Maguire needs a pacey partner to accompany his bust-like agility. The Bailly and Maguire partnership has been great, but as I said, Bailly is horribly injury prone, so I'm suggesting Ozan Kabak. Yes, he has been a part of the worst defense in the Bundesliga this season, but when you're a part of a team whose top scorer is an American teenager with 4 goals in his 2 starts, then you know the club isn't doing good as a whole. He would provide good cover for Bailly and a good substitute partner for Maguire, and at only 20 years old he can learn and improve so much in his decade more at the top level. His stock also is at an all-time low, so United could capitalize and move for him.
Manchester United should sell Jesse Lingard.
Recently, J Links, as he likes to be called, was a link to a move to France or even Aston Villa, and I think United should just move him on without hesitation. He reportedly earns £100,000 per week and he didn't even get a minute of Premier League football this season. He also has the likes of Donny van de Beek and United's best player, Bruno, in front of him in the pecking order, and he's just not getting into that team. All in all, he's a player below United standard and even top 10 standard. If I was United, I would be just looking to move him on as soon as possible.
Arsenal should sign Emi Buendia.
Now, let's move to Arsenal, who have been in dire need of creativity this season, and I think Emi Buendia would help with that. Ever since he was in the Prem with Norwich in the 1920 season, you could see that the tricky Argentinian winger is a very talented creator. He got a goal and 7 assists that season for the bottom side in the league, which is nothing to be sniffed at. He followed that season with an impressive 2021 so far in the championship for a title-chasing Norwich with 7 goals and 7 assists. He shouldn't cost more than 30 million and he would be a great signing in a position of need for Arsenal, cause let's be real, Willian isn't good anymore and Pepe is out of form. And even if Saka plays there on the right wing, there's no reason Emi couldn't go in the attacking midfielder slot and provide some competition for Emil Smith-Rowe, who has been starting some games recently.
Arsenal should sell Socrates.
Before his contract cancellation a few days ago, Ozil would have been the first pick for this spot, but as he did end his Arsenal career, yeah, he's out of the running. I would also like to cover his whole Arsenal career and its many ups and downs in another video, so let me know if you would like to see that in the comments below. But for now, let's move to Socrates. Socrates has been left out of the Premier League and Europa League squads for Arsenal and is just sitting at home collecting his £90,000 a week wage. His performance level has been on a steep decline since the first season in England, and he has been so bad last season that Arteta decided that Gabriel, Chambers, Mari, Luiz and Mustafi are all above him in the pecking order. His only appearance this season came against the Everton youth team, and at 32 he has no chance of getting better and getting back in the squad. He has actually been linked to Liverpool amid their centre-back crisis, and I think Arsenal should move him on. If not to Liverpool, then whoever is offering. He has a value around £5 million, but even that seems high for his age and for his level of performance. So Gunners should just accept whatever they get offered for him.
Chelsea should sign Declan Rice.
Now let's get on to Chelsea, who are a supposed title challenger even though they're a couple of points above Arsenal. And for me, they should sign a defensive midfielder who can also cover at centre back, and no better player can do that and is English also and adjusted to the Premier League as much as Declan Rice. Actually, all of Chelsea defensive mids have been quietly having a bad season, other than Kante. Jorginho has not been good, he's slow and doesn't suit the top-heavy Chelsea who need world-class cover for the centre-backs. Kovacic has been subpar as well for some reason, and Kante has been good but needs real competition. Rice is also played at centre-back and should play either there or in the defensive midfield because both positions are in need of depth. Zuma and Silva have been decent, but after them Rudiger and Christensen are just not Chelsea or top 4 level. He's going to cost a lot because he's key to West Ham and also English tax values in, but still, Chelsea could raise some funds from the sales of the likes of Kepa, Christensen, Alonso, Rudiger and so on and so forth.
Chelsea should sell Kepa.
Now for who Chelsea should sell, I'm putting forward Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa has been a disaster ever since he signed from Athletic Bilbao for 80 million in 2018. He has been a horrible and unreliable goalkeeper and he should be moved on as soon as possible and forgotten about even faster. Chelsea should just try to get as much money as they can for him, even like 20 or 30 million pounds, because they're not getting their money back on their 80 million investment and he's just losing value rapidly. He's losing value either from rotting on the bench or even worse from playing, and they should just move him on as soon as possible and get him off the books. He somehow managed to only play 3 Premier League games this season out of a possible 18 and still somehow managed to make 3 errors leading to goals, which is actually the most out of any Premier League player. He's one of the worst transfers in recent memory and Chelsea should just get rid of him.
Manchester City should sign Angelino.
Angelino has been a revelation since moving to RB Leipzig. The Spaniard has been one of the best left backs in Europe this season, actually top 3 in my opinion, along with Robertson and Theo Hernandez. And yes, Bayern fans, I know Davies is great, he has great potential, but he's been injured this season, so I can't put him above Angelino, Hernandez or Robertson this season wise. He's a classic flying fullback and has an eye for goal contributions with 4 goals and 4 assists this season in 14 appearances at the time of writing. Yes, he's actually on loan from City to Leipzig, but it is with an obligation to buy, so he technically has to be bought back by the citizens, and I think they should do it. Left back has been a bogey position for Pep City for some time now, and the options they got are Zinchenko, who isn't good enough, and Mendy, who is always injured and recently chasing Latinas more than the ball. Cancelo can cover there, but he's not a natural fit, and Angelino is, at least as a left back, better than him for sure. Not as a player, but as a left back.
Manchester City should sell Eric Garcia.
The case with Eric Garcia and Barcelona and the whole will he, won't he saga continues, and recently there have been reports that he's moving in the summer for free, having reached an agreement with Barcelona, so City should just sell him now. He's not playing ahead of Diaz, Laporte, Stones or Ake. He's the 5th choice and made just 3 appearances this season. Yes, he has been injured and sick, but he still doesn't play and his contract is winding down. Also, the only 2 times he completed the 90 minutes in the Premier League is against Leicester City, where they lost 5-2, and against West Ham United, where they drew 1-1. He's a huge talent at only 19, but what can you do when he has his sights set on Barcelona? In my opinion, City should just cash in now, even for a small fee of like 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, whatever they can squeeze out before he leaves on a free.
Spurs should sign Luis Felipe.
Eric Dier has been decent this season, don't get me wrong, but by his standards, decent is just not saying that much. I have never been impressed by him and think he should be replaced by a younger and better centre-back. Step in Luis Felipe. At 23 years old, he's a player that can play at the top level for almost a decade, and he is already really good. He has been a rock at the back for Lazio, and with his agility and aerial ability, he's everything Dier isn't. Spurs have actually been horrible with defending Leeds this season, and I think Luis Felipe will help stabilize that defense. His market value is around 20 million, and with a contract until 2022, they should be able to sign him for around 30 million, which in today's market is nothing for a defender of his quality. He can grow and learn so much from Toby Alderweireld and help Spurs reach the top 4.
Spurs should sell Dele Alli.
Ali just doesn't look like the player who got 18 goals and 7 assists in the 16-17 season, and then the season after that 9 goals and 9 assists. He's now barely in the team and has been below standard for a couple of seasons. He played just 74 minutes this season in the league. Mourinho doesn't rate him, and Dobele has taken his spot. He has been not good for a couple of seasons. The Euros are in the summer. He's on £100,000 a week. It just makes sense that he moves on, and for Spurs, it makes sense to move him on. PSG are rumored to want him, and I think he should jump on that opportunity, especially knowing that the manager who loves him and believes in him, Pochettino, is there.
Liverpool should sign Dayot Upamecano.
The RB Leipzig beast is an extremely talented defender and has been key to how Leipzig set up in the last 2 seasons. He's strong, intelligent and even agile, which has been key to balance the defense in the Champions League semi-finalists system, and they are actually the best defense in Germany, conceding only 12 goals in 15 games at the time of writing, and 6 of those came in 2 games versus Bayern and Dortmund. Given that Liverpool are in an injury crisis at the back, with Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip all injured, they are in dire need of a centre back. Fabinho has been forced to cover and he's been great for the reigning champions, but they still conceded 21 goals in 18 games this season, which is a lot worse than 14 in 18 games last season. They have even been forced to field Henderson and Fabinho as a centre defensive pairing against Southampton and United. So yeah, they need a centre back quick, and the Frenchman is a great choice.
Liverpool should sell Shaqiri.
Shaqiri has just become a waste of money, hasn't he? Ever since he cost Mourinho his job in the late 2018, the Swiss international has been on a downward spiral. He's on £80,000 per week and he's bringing absolutely nothing to the table. He played 84 minutes of Premier League football via 4 substitute appearances and he got an assist before this weekend, but he has just no chance to displace anyone from that squad, and even as a sub, Minamino, Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain and of course Jota are all way ahead of him. In the United game this weekend he started actually and was substituted after 70 minutes and nothing done on the field. Jota came in instead of him, and yeah, he's surely the first sub when the club looks at the bench now. He's also 29 years old and rapidly losing any sort of sell-on value he has. A nice 10 million offer from anyone should be taken without a second thought. So guys, that would be it for the first video on my channel. I'm gonna be posting a lot more about football, music, video games and much more, so stay tuned, subscribe and drop a comment considering everything I said in the video I want to discuss with you.